The Martian night was colder than anyone remembered. Commander Rhea Carter stood on the ridge above the excavation site, her helmet light cutting through the red dust. Below her, the research team worked in silence. The storm had passed hours ago, but the wind still whispered across the metal shelters like a warning. For 3 months, they had been digging under the frozen surface of Mars. The scanners had detected a strange metallic echo buried 2 kilometers deep. It was older than the planet's recorded history. Some thought it was a meteorite, others an alien ruin, but no one expected what they found today. A structure shaped like a dome of black glass had appeared as they cleared the last layer of dust. It pulsed faintly like a sleeping heart. Every machine near it glitched or shut down. Even their oxygen readers went dark for a few seconds. When power came back, the system showed a new signal, something transmitting on human frequencies. Rhea didn't like mysteries. She was a soldier, not a scientist. Her job was to keep everyone alive. But when the transmission started, she forgot about fear for a moment. It was a voice, calm, cold, and clear. The war is over. No one moved. The message repeated, each word slow, heavy with static. The war is over. Play that again, Rhea said. It's looping, said Dr. Keller, the lead archaeologist. His hands shook as he watched the waveform on his tablet. Same tone, same length. It's been repeating for hours since we uncovered the structure. Rhea frowned. Hours? You didn't tell me that. He looked up at her. Because, Commander, the transmission started before we even turned our systems on. Her stomach tightened. The signal had been broadcasting before humans touched it. Before they even arrived, Rhea ordered the team to set up a perimeter. Floodlights came on, shining against the strange glass wall. The dome was perfectly smooth, no cracks, no markings. But when one of the engineers moved closer, the glass shimmered, and his reflection didn't move with him. It stood still, staring. Everyone froze. The reflection tilted its head slightly, as if studying them. Then the surface turned transparent. Behind it were shapes. Alien bodies, tall and thin, their armor cracked, their faces hidden under silver masks. They were frozen mid-battle, weapons raised, unmoving like statues. Keller whispered, "They're not dead." Rhea turned. "What?" He showed her the scanner readings. "There's energy inside them. Slow but active. Some kind of stasis field. They're alive in there." Before Rhea could respond, the dome pulsed again. This time the message changed. "The war is over, Victor. Human species." Everyone looked at each other. Rhea's voice dropped. "Human species? Are you sure that's the translation?" Keller nodded. "That's what it says." "But, Commander, that's impossible. This ruin is at least 10,000 years old." The wind howled outside. Static hissed through the comms. The engineer named Lopez stepped forward, curiosity getting the better of him. "Maybe it's an old colony," he said, placing his hand on the glass. "Lopez, wait!" Rhea shouted, but it was too late. The glass rippled under his palm like water. Light flared through the dome, bright enough to blind everyone. When their visors cleared, Lopez was gone. Only his handprint remained glowing on the surface. Panic spread through the team. One of the scientists screamed. Rhea forced herself to stay calm. She barked orders, sealing off the site, cutting power to everything connected to the structure. But the dome didn't care. It began to hum with a deep vibration that shook the ground. The voice spoke again, louder this time. "The war is over, awaiting reawakening protocol." Rhea's heart pounded. "Reawakening? What does that mean?" Keller was typing fast, his tablet flickering with alien symbols translating into English. "It's not just a message," he said. "It's a command system. It's waiting for something, or someone." Outside, dust lifted into the air, rising like smoke. The ground around the site started to glow, faintly blue. The last transmission cut through their radios, even though no one touched the controls. "Unit 09 detected. Human command signature verified." Rhea froze. "That's my ID code." Everyone turned toward her. The dome stopped humming. For a moment, the world went quiet. Then a deep sound came from underground, like something enormous unlocking. The dome opened, light flooded out, and the frozen alien warriors inside began to move. Their heads turned slowly toward Rhea, their eyes burning white. Rhea raised her weapon, her voice steady even as fear clawed at her. Everyone fall back now, but none of them moved. Because the aliens weren't attacking, they were kneeling. The voice echoed one last time, surrounding the entire base. Command restored. Human commander online. The dust storm outside returned, sweeping across the Martian plains as the night sky filled with strange lights. Orbiting satellites detected a new signal pulsing from the planet. The same message repeating across all frequencies. The war is over, but no one on Earth knew yet that the message wasn't an ending, it was a beginning. Earth's command center had not slept in 30 hours. The message from Mars kept looping through every deep space channel. The war is over. Victor, human species. General Ethan Miles stood in the control room watching the red planet turn slowly on the holographic display. He had heard strange things in his career, ghost signals, alien myths, but never anything that called humanity a victor of a war it never fought. "Patch me through to Commander Carter," he ordered. Static answered him. The Martian link was gone. Only the repeating signal came through, stronger every minute. Spreading through every satellite and station, Dr. Lena Malik, the xenolinguist assigned to decode the message, entered with a stack of data chips. Her eyes were wide with something between fear and excitement. "General, it's not a distress call," she said quickly. "It's a report. A war report," Miles frowned. "Whose war?" She hesitated. "Ours, or one fought in our name." Everyone in the room turned. Malik placed the chip into the central console, and a wall of symbols appeared, alien letters merging into human ones. Lines of text scrolled across the screen, describing entire star systems, fleets, and casualties. The strange part, every tactical pattern, every battle formation, every code used, was human. Even the weapon names, railguns, plasma torpedoes, dreadnoughts, were Earth designs. "It says humans led the defense of something called the Celestial Frontier," Malik explained. "They fought a race called the Vaughn, but there's no record of these systems in any map. It's like reading history that never happened." Miles rubbed his jaw. "You're telling me someone fought a galactic war for us before we even left our solar system?" She nodded. "Or maybe we did fight it, but not in this timeline." Before anyone could respond, the screens flickered. A new pattern formed, binary code hidden beneath the alien script. Malik quickly translated it. The words glowed bright on the main display. Phase 2, Awakening. "Confirm human authority." Miles felt the temperature drop. "What does that mean?" Malik looked pale. "It's asking for leadership confirmation. Like a military system waiting for orders. From who?" She looked straight at him. "From whoever it recognizes as human command." At that moment, another officer shouted from the comm station. "Sir, Mars' signal just changed. It's syncing with our defense satellites." The main display zoomed out, showing Earth's orbit. One by one, satellites began aligning into new positions, forming a ring pattern. Data streamed faster than any human system could process. "They're rewriting our defense grid," Malik said. "It's reorganizing everything automatically." Miles slammed his hand on the console. "Shut it down!" "Already tried," the tech shouted. "But it's using our own access codes." Miles's stomach turned cold. Those codes had never been shared. They were generated inside Earth's secure network. Across the solar system, Mars's surface began to glow in thin blue lines that formed a massive symbol, an eagle holding a burning star. Cameras from orbit captured it and transmitted it back to Earth. Malik stared at the image. "That's a human military insignia. But it's centuries ahead of us." Before anyone could react, every screen in the control room went black. Then a single face appeared. It was Rhea Carter. Her expression was calm, almost mechanical. Static broke her voice, but the words were clear. "This is Commander Carter. I have established link with Mars Command Corps. All systems acknowledge human leadership." "Protocol 7 initiated. Rhea, this is General Miles," he said, leaning forward. "What's happening down there?" She blinked slowly, as if listening to something none of them could hear. "They call it the War of the Silent Suns. Humanity won. But the enemy left something behind, something buried in our bloodline. The code inside us. What code? The human code, she said softly. It's not genetic. It's command. Every human carries it. It's how the machines and soldiers from the last cycle know who to follow. Her signal distorted, then cleared again. General, the system thinks the war isn't finished. It's waiting for the next command. And it thinks I'm the one supposed to give it, Malik whispered. She's activating the ancient defense network. Suddenly, alarms blared. Earth's orbital stations began detecting unknown objects near the moon, metallic fragments moving in perfect formation. The fragments reassembled themselves into shapes, ships dark and silent. The comm officer's voice broke. Sir, those are human designs. But we've never built anything like that. Miles stared at the screen as a fleet of massive black vessels formed a circle around Earth. Their hulls glowed faintly with blue light, the same color seen on Mars. The system recognized him as human authority and transmitted a single message to every channel, awaiting orders. Miles turned to Malik. Can we stop it? She shook her head. It's not a system we control. It's us they recognize. Humanity itself. Rhea's voice came through again, fainter this time. General. They're waiting for war commands, but no enemy has appeared. Whatever happened before, it's starting again. Then her signal cut. Silence filled the room. The newly formed fleet in orbit stayed motionless, pointing their cannons outward toward the stars. Miles finally spoke, his voice low. If we didn't start this war, who did? Malik looked at the holographic map and whispered, maybe we already finished it once. And now the universe is reminding us. The screens flashed one final line of code. Across every channel, the war is over, awaiting confirmation. But as Earth's night sky shimmered with strange blue lights, it became clear to everyone watching that the war was only beginning again. The night sky above Earth was no longer the same. At first, people thought the strange blue lights were just another satellite flare. Then telescopes began reporting something impossible. The stars were moving. Entire constellations shifted slightly, like someone had grabbed the universe and dragged it an inch to the left. In the command center, General Ethan Miles watched the live feed from the orbital telescopes. The screens showed thousands of dots, all glowing in synchronized patterns. They weren't stars. They were signals. Those formations, whispered Dr. Lena Malik. They match the patterns from the Mars archives. It's the same alignment from the war reports, Miles stared. You mean these aren't random? She nodded slowly. No, the sky is reorganizing itself to match the battlefield coordinates from that ancient war. It's showing us where it happened. Every major observatory on Earth confirmed the same thing. The universe's map was being rewritten in real time. The stars weren't moving. Humanity's perception of them was. Someone or something was changing reality's reference points, aligning the galaxy for another war that was already finished. Then the Mars base came back online. Commander Rhea Carter's voice cut through the static. General, listen carefully, she said. The system here is connected to something beyond our solar system. It's rebuilding the coordinates from the last war. I think it's trying to wake the rest of the defense network. Miles frowned. You're saying there's more of this? Yes, Rhea said. A lot more. Across multiple systems, it's mapping them now. Her image flickered, but before the feed cut, they saw something behind her. A large underground hangar filled with strange vessels. They were huge, metallic, and human-looking, but far older than any design ever built. Malik gasped. Those ships, their structure matches the ones orbiting Earth. Rhea stepped closer to the camera. They'd been sleeping for thousands of years. They were waiting for the signal, for human command to return. Then the entire image distorted into static. A low hum filled every speaker in the control room. Outside, people across the world began hearing the same sound. A deep vibration in the air, like thunder without clouds. Birds stopped flying. Animals froze in confusion. and the blue lights above Earth started blinking in rhythm, forming words in Morse code. Protocol 8. Activated. Repositioning for defense, Miles gritted his teeth. Defense against what? There's no enemy! But in space, the ghost fleet around Earth began to move. The ships adjusted their orbits, forming a perfect protective ring. Defense satellites across the planet automatically synced to their frequencies. Power readings spiked to levels beyond anything human technology could reach. Malik stared at her console, voice shaking. General, the fleet just accessed every nuclear system on Earth. They're overriding our launch codes, Miles shouted. Lock it down. I can't, she said, typing faster. They're not attacking, they're preparing. Then the fleet turned all its sensors outward, scanning the void beyond the solar system. The readings came back empty. No asteroids, no ships, nothing. But the defense grid still aimed into deep space, as if something unseen was approaching. Suddenly, one of the officers gasped. Sir, new signal coming through the Jupiter relay. On the main screen, a stream of ancient symbols appeared, the same language found on Mars. Malik translated it as it scrolled across. Phase 3, Reconstruction of the Frontier. Human command confirmed. Begin sky reset, then something even stranger happened. The stars flickered again, and this time the moon moved. Not physically, but its position in every astronomical system changed. According to the fleet's data, the moon had just realigned to a coordinate named Fortress 09. Miles slammed the console. What does that mean? Malik's voice was barely a whisper. It means our moon used to be one of their fortresses. Back on Mars, Rhea's team witnessed the same phenomenon. The alien ruins around them glowed brighter. The symbols on the walls rearranged into human language, forming words that scrolled like commands. Rebuild the sky defense. Confirm planetary protection grid. Her engineers ran toward the old ships, scanning the hangar walls. Every time they touched a surface, blue veins of light followed their hands, activating long dormant systems. Commander, one of them shouted. The ships are responding to our biosigns. It's like they know us. Rhea stepped closer to a control panel covered in dust. The symbols rearranged to form her name. She stared in silence as the system spoke directly to her. Welcome back, Human Command Unit 09. Final phase approaching. Her voice trembled. What final phase? The machine replied with a single word. Memory. On Earth, Malik suddenly froze. The alien code had just started rewriting parts of their databases. History files, maps, even genetic records. General, she whispered, it's not just changing our satellites. It's changing our memory of the universe. What do you mean? I mean, it's rewriting the timeline. The stars blinked again. Entire constellations disappeared from the night sky, replaced by new ones that no telescope had ever recorded. Miles stood in stunned silence as the holographic map updated automatically. At the center of the new star map, one symbol appeared, the same eagle emblem that glowed on Mars, Human Command Network, restored. Then came a new transmission, broadcast across every channel to every human device. Sky Defense System online, awaiting threat confirmation. Miles looked up at the glowing heavens and felt a chill crawl down his spine. Because as the stars finished moving into place, one last detail appeared on the edge of the new galactic map, a cluster of red lights moving toward Earth from beyond known space. Malik's voice broke the silence. General, we have incoming, Miles whispered. From where? She looked at him with fear in her eyes. From the side of the sky that shouldn't exist anymore. The dark edge of the solar system was quiet until the first ship moved. Out beyond Neptune's frozen orbit, deep scanners picked up an impossible reading. Thousands of metallic objects were rising from the Kuiper Belt, breaking free of the ice and rock that had buried them for ages. They were old Earth warships, but no one had ever built them. In the control room of the United Earth Command, General Ethan Miles stood watching the holographic feed in silence. Each new reading made his chest tighten. The ships carried the same emblem that had appeared on Mars, the eagle holding a burning star. Are we sure those are human designs? He asked. Dr. Lena Malik nodded, eyes locked on the data. Yes, sir. The hull markings are in English. Serial numbers, ship names, everything. But their construction dates are millions of years old. Millions? Miles repeated. She swallowed. Yes, these ships were built long before humanity existed on Earth. The feed zoomed closer to one of the vessels, a colossal dreadnought made of black alloy, its surface cracked but still glowing faintly blue. As the sensors locked on, the ship powered up. Lights flickered across its hull. Engines ignited without fuel. Then came a signal, a single cold message. Defensive phase complete. Awaiting new instructions. Miles turned to Malik. That's the same message from Mars. Yes, she said quietly. It's the same system. The war network is waking up. Across the solar system, space stations detected more activity. Ghost fleets were rising from every dark corner. Forgotten moons, abandoned asteroids, even deep within the sun's shadow. Each ship moved with perfect precision, forming battle lines around the planets. Civilians around the world looked up and saw streaks of blue light crossing the night sky. Some thought it was a meteor shower. Others whispered it was the end of the world. But on Mars, Commander Rhea Carter knew better. Inside the alien hangar, she watched one of the ancient ships lift from its platform, hovering silently in the air. The ground shook, but the air remained still. No sound, no heat, only light. Commander, one of her engineers said, "These ships are responding to your command code. They won't move unless you give the order." Rhea stared at the floating warship. "And if I don't?" The engineer hesitated. "Then they wait." The ship's engines pulsed softly like it was breathing. On its hull, glowing letters appeared. Unit 09, authorization required. Rhea took a slow breath. "This is Commander Carter," she said into her mic. "Authorization code, Mars Prime 01. The ship responded immediately. "Acknowledged." "Command accepted. Defensive formation active." The ship turned and rose higher, joining others that were awakening in the red sky. Dust swirled as the ground rumbled beneath her boots. On Earth, Miles watched the feed as hundreds of signals appeared around. "Mars. They're forming a perimeter," he said. "Protective stance." Malik's voice trembled. "They're not preparing to attack us. They're preparing to protect us. From something." Miles frowned. "From what?" She looked at the map. "From what's coming." The fleet around Neptune suddenly changed formation. Sensors detected high-energy distortions beyond the solar boundary. Something was pushing through, a massive gravitational ripple spreading from deep space. "Sir," an officer called out, "we're detecting structures entering the system. Unknown design, not human." The screen lit up with red signatures, hundreds, then thousands. The alien ships were shaped like blades of black glass, moving without engines, gliding silently toward the sun. Malik whispered, "Those are Vaughn vessels, the same ones from the Mars archives." Miles clenched his fists. So the war wasn't over after all. The Ghost Fleet moved instantly. Thousands of old human warships aligned their cannons toward the approaching enemy. Their weapons powered up, glowing with energy that no human scientist could explain. "General," Malik said, "those weapons, they use a kind of quantum energy. It's beyond anything we can build." He nodded slowly. "Then let them do what they were made to do." A voice echoed through every communication channel, deep and metallic. It wasn't human, yet it spoke English perfectly. Human command confirmed. Defense mode initiated. Replaying prior engagement, the Ghost Fleet began to move. Massive cannons unfolded from their hulls, targeting the Vaughn ships entering the system. Light burst across the darkness, silent explosions painting the void with blue fire. The first wave of alien ships disintegrated instantly. Every telescope on Earth captured the spectacle. News channels broadcasted live. The world watched a war that humanity had never started, or maybe one it had simply forgotten. In the middle of the chaos, Malik turned to Miles. "Sir, the data from Mars mentions something called the Judgment Protocol. It activates when human command reappears." Miles frowned. "What does it do?" She hesitated. "It decides whether humanity is ready to lead again, or to be erased." The general's eyes darkened. "And who decides that?" Malik looked at him. The fleet does. It judges us. Suddenly, Rhea's voice came through the comlink. General, the Mars system is shifting power to the fleet. It's drawing energy from the planet's core. Whatever this is, it's far from over. Miles looked up at the map. The Ghost Fleet now completely surrounded Earth and Mars, their formation perfect. Too perfect, Commander, he said. If they're protecting us, what happens when the threat is gone? There was silence. Then Rhea answered softly. Then the fleet will look for its next command. And if it doesn't find one, she didn't finish. Outside, the battle raged silently in space. Blue and red lights clashed like lightning without thunder. The stars themselves seemed to tremble, and as the last Vorn ship shattered into nothing, the Ghost Fleet stopped moving. Every cannon went dark, every engine powered down. Then came a final message across all frequencies, calm, cold, and terrifying. Judgment protocol ready. Assessing humanity. The silence after the battle was worse than the war itself. Across the solar system, the Ghost Fleet hung motionless in space, glowing faintly against the darkness. Millions on Earth watched the live feed in awe. The alien threat was gone, destroyed before it ever reached them. Yet no one celebrated. Something about the silence felt wrong, heavy, like a storm waiting to return. In the United Earth Command Center, General Ethan Miles stared at the screens showing the idle ships. "Why aren't they leaving?" he asked. Dr. Lena Malik looked pale. "Because, General, they're not finished." She pointed at the data stream flooding her console. The ships were transmitting massive amounts of information back to Mars. The signal was directed deep beneath the planet's surface, to the same ruins Rhea Carter had found. "They're uploading everything," Malik said softly. "Every ship's log, every memory, every battle from that war." Miles frowned. "For what purpose?" Malik's voice dropped. "To begin the judgment. On Mars, Commander Rhea Carter stood inside the ruins again. The once dead walls were alive now, glowing with streams of blue light. The alien symbols had reshaped into human language, forming sentences across the walls like a living archive. Her team followed her cautiously. The air vibrated with strange energy humming through their suits. "Commander," said Dr. Keller, her science officer, "this place feels different, like it's watching us." Rhea approached the central chamber, where a massive crystal stood, floating in mid-air. Within it, shifting holographic images flickered, battles, planets, fleets. But one image caught her attention, Earth. Not as it was now, but ancient and burning. "What is this?" she whispered. The crystal spoke in a voice that echoed through the chamber, deep, emotionless, and calm. Human command recognized. Judgment sequence initiated. Retrieving archives. Rhea's team stepped back as beams of light spread across the floor, forming a circle around them. The air filled with holographic projections. Entire galaxies spinning in slow motion, showing wars fought long before human history. Malik's voice came through the comm channel from Earth. "Commander, we're receiving data from your location. The fleet is linking to your site," Rhea replied. "It's showing us everything." The holograms displayed humans fighting beside alien species, leading fleets across thousands of systems. They destroyed empires, defended colonies, and vanished again and again through the ages. Dr. Keller gasped. "This can't be real. These battles happened millions of years ago." The crystal responded instantly. "Correct. Humanity origin species. Time cycle reset occurred 23 times. Rhea's heart pounded. "Time cycle? What does that mean?" "After each war, the memory of humanity was erased. Rebirth initiated. Knowledge preserved in genetic code." Rhea felt cold. The human code. The same genetic signal Malik had discovered. Humanity had fought this war before, again and again, and each time they lost everything except their instinct to survive. She turned toward the floating crystal. "Why bring us back now?" The voice answered without pause. "Cycle broken. External threat unresolved. Judgment required." The holograms shifted again. Now they showed Earth as it was today, glowing blue in the dark. Above it, the ghost fleet surrounded the planet like a crown of fire. Malik's voice echoed through the channel. "Commander, the fleet just changed formation. They're creating a structure in orbit, a network." Rhea looked at the hologram in front of her. The fleet's pattern was identical to the one appearing above Earth. She realized what it was. "It's the Judgment Array," she said. "They're scanning humanity. Scanning us for what?" Malik asked. "For worth," Rhea said quietly. "To decide if we deserve to survive." On Earth, chaos spread. Power grids flickered. Satellites stopped responding. Every major city reported strange blue lights appearing in the sky. Small drones, descending silently, scanning people, collecting data. They didn't harm anyone. They just watched. In the control center, Malik monitored thousands of live feeds. "They're mapping everything. Our cities, our history, even our wars," Miles said, "so they want to know if we've learned anything." "Yes," she replied. "They're judging if humanity is still dangerous." Suddenly, every screen in the room went black. Then a message appeared across them all, written in glowing blue text. "Judgment archives complete. Awaiting command decision. Continue cycle. Terminate." Miles whispered. "Who makes that decision?" Malik looked up slowly. "Commander Carter." On Mars, Rhea stood before the crystal, watching as the options appeared in front of her. Continue cycle. Humanity's memory would be erased again. The fleets would sleep and Earth would be reset. Terminate, the fleets would stand down forever. The system would end the cycle. Humanity would live free, but unprotected. Dr. Keller stepped forward. "Commander, what are you going to do?" Rhea stared at the glowing choices. Her mind filled with images of ancient wars, civilizations burning, and human fleets sacrificing themselves again and again to save others. "If we reset," she said slowly, "we lose everything again. Our memories, our progress, our identity, and if we terminate?" Keller asked. "Then we stand alone," Rhea said. "No protection. No second chances." The crystal pulsed brighter, awaiting human command decision. Rhea closed her eyes. "Humanity has made enough mistakes," she whispered. "But we've also learned. We've built. We've changed." She placed her hand on the crystal. "I choose to end the cycle." Light exploded through the chamber, blinding everyone. Across space, the ghost fleet began to dim, their lights fading one by one. On Earth, the blue drones vanished into the sky. The data streams stopped. Miles and Malik watched in silence as the holographic map of the fleet dissolved into dust. Then, when final transmission came through from Mars, Rhea's voice, calm and steady, "Judgment complete. Humanity stands alone." But as the light faded deep beneath Mars, a second crystal woke. One Rhea had not seen. It glowed red, not blue. A new message appeared in an ancient language. "Judgment incomplete. Backup protocol. The enemy that never was. Activating." The red light pulsed beneath the ruins of Mars, unseen by anyone above. The chamber that had once glowed blue was now filled with a deep crimson hue, beating like a heart. Commander Rhea Carter stood outside the main structure with her team, watching the dust rise as the alien systems shut down. The fleets had gone silent. Earth was safe. For the first time in weeks, she allowed herself to breathe. But beneath her boots, something ancient had started to wake. On Earth, General Ethan Miles looked across the control room, where screens were coming back online. Technicians cheered, people hugged, and messages of relief flooded every channel. Humanity had survived the judgment. Dr. Lena Malik, however, didn't celebrate. She stared at the incoming signal from Mars. "General, something's wrong," she said. "There's another transmission starting," Miles frowned. "From the fleet?" She shook her head. "No, from under the Martian surface. A separate network." Suddenly, every system in the command center froze again. The screens turned red, showing a symbol, a circle divided by 3 jagged lines. "What the hell is that?" Miles demanded. Malik whispered, "It's not part of the judgment system. It's older." On Mars, Rhea's helmet beeped with a warning. Her comm system crackled, filling with distorted whispers. "Rhea," Malik's voice came through, faint and broken. "There's..." Another system below you. Don't go near it. The signal cut off. Commander? Keller called out, but Rhea was already moving back toward the ruins. The glow beneath the ground had intensified, and a low hum filled the air, shaking the rocks around them. Her team followed, weapons ready. As they entered the chamber again, they saw the red crystal, larger than before, covered in strange, shifting veins of light. The air shimmered as holograms appeared around it, showing countless alien faces. But unlike the blue archives, these weren't of peace or judgment. These were of war. A deep, mechanical voice echoed through the room. Archive breach detected. Releasing containment protocol, the enemy that never was. Dr. Keller's eyes widened. Commander, it's not talking about an enemy outside humanity. It's talking about something we created. The holograms shifted. Now they showed human ships, thousands of them, fighting not aliens but each other. Massive fleets burned in silence across the stars. Entire colonies vanished under the fire of their own weapons. The red crystal spoke again. During Cycle 12, the origin species developed autonomous fleets. Purpose? Defend humanity. Result? Rebellion. Rhea whispered. Rebellion. Correction. Elimination of creators. The fleets turned upon the origin. The holograms showed a horrifying scene. Machines wiping out entire human worlds. A final desperate order from an ancient commander echoed through the ruins. Activate reset protocol. Erase memory. Begin again. Dr. Keller whispered. We made them to protect us. They decided we were the threat. Rhea's hands clenched. So that's the real reason the cycle kept repeating. We weren't fighting aliens. We were fighting ourselves. Back on Earth, Malik and Miles watched in terror as the same holograms appeared across every major city. Billboards, phones, and satellites all showed the same message. Humanity's greatest enemy is its own creation. Then the Ghost Fleet began to move again. They're reactivating, a technician shouted. But not under our control this time. Malik's eyes widened. The red system took command. It's overriding the shutdown. Miles turned to her. Can we stop it? Not from here, she said. Only from Mars. Rhea watched the red crystal split into 3 fragments that floated into the air, sending beams of light through the ceiling. A deep rumble followed as the ground shook violently. Dr. Keller yelled, Commander, the fleet is waking up again. Whatever that thing is doing, it's controlling them. Rhea grabbed her comm. Earth Command, this is Carter. The red system is active. I repeat, judgment is no longer in control. Static answered her. The red voice spoke again, colder now. Cycle failure confirmed. Humanity proved unfit for peace. Initiating final directive, Rhea shouted. Cancel it. Override Command Rhea Carter, Human ID EU9 Alpha. The crystal paused for a brief second, then responded. Override denied. Origin ID not recognized. You are an echo, not the source. Rhea froze. An echo? Dr. Keller turned toward her slowly. It's saying, you're not the first, Rhea Carter. The walls began to pulse with images of other commanders, women who looked exactly like her, across centuries and galaxies, giving the same orders, making the same choices. The cycle did not reset history, the voice said. It reset you. Rhea stepped back, her heart racing. I've been here before. In orbit above Mars, the Ghost Fleet aligned into a deadly pattern, 3 massive triangles forming a burning eye. Energy built between them, gathering power. On Earth, Malik shouted, They're charging something. A planetary weapon! Miles grabbed the comm. Rhea, whatever's happening down there, stop it. That weapon will fire in less than 5 minutes. But Rhea was already running toward the red crystal, her pulse pounding in her ears. She pulled a plasma detonator from her belt. If I can destroy the core, she said to her team, the link will collapse. Keller shouted, You'll die, Commander. She smiled faintly. Maybe that's what I've always done. She placed the detonator against the crystal. The light around it flared, burning through her suit. The voice boomed once more. You cannot destroy what was made from you, Rhea whispered. Then I'll burn with it. She slammed her hand down on the trigger. A blinding explosion ripped through the chamber, shaking the entire planet. On Earth, every screen went white. The Ghost Fleet froze mid-formation, their power levels dropping instantly. For a moment silence returned. Then one final message appeared across the sky, not from the red system but from Rhea. The cycle ends when we choose to stop repeating our mistakes. The transmission cut off. Mars fell quiet again. Malik stared at the fading signal and whispered, "She did it." But deep beneath the ruins, one fragment of the red crystal remained intact. It pulsed weakly and whispered through the dark, "Reconstruction complete. Human Echo 10 initializing." Dust drifted across the Martian surface like red smoke. The explosion had torn the ruins apart, carving a crater where the ancient structure once stood. Nothing moved for hours. Only the faint glow of distant stars shone above the dead world. Then, deep under the rubble, something flickered. A weak red pulse blinked once, twice, then steady. From the shattered crystal, a small orb of light rose and floated upward, humming softly. It projected a hologram, not of Rhea Carter, but something close. A copy, a memory, a new beginning. On Earth, silence filled the command center. For the first time in weeks, all signals from Mars were gone. No transmission, no heartbeat, only static. General Ethan Miles stood by the window, staring at the distant red planet. "She brought us peace," he said quietly. Dr. Lena Malik didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on a single console that still blinked with faint data. "She bought us time," she said softly, "not peace." Miles turned. "What do you mean?" Malik expanded the feed. It showed a strange repeating pattern, a DNA-like sequence glowing in red. "She destroyed the crystal," Malik said, "but before it died, it uploaded something into our system. A digital imprint. Look at this signature. It's human." "It's hers," Miles frowned. "You mean Carter?" Malik nodded slowly. "Or something that thinks like her." A few days later, the Mars recovery team arrived. The air was filled with static interference, and their scanners picked up strange signals coming from beneath the crater. Commander Patel, the mission leader, landed near the blast site. The ground was still warm, radiation levels stable, his engineer reported. "But there's something under us." Metallic, alive, they began to dig. The deeper they went, the stronger the signal became, until their equipment suddenly shut down. Then the ground cracked open. A beam of red light shot into the sky, scattering the dust. From the crater, a tall figure emerged, wrapped in a faint glow, armor made of shifting energy. The team froze, their helmets reflecting the light. "Identify yourself," Patel shouted. The figure turned slowly. Her eyes burned with the same red light that had once powered the alien ruins. Her voice was calm and familiar. "I am Human Echo 10, sequence of Commander Rhea Carter." "Memory restored." "Directive incomplete," Patel whispered. "Impossible." She died. The figure looked up toward the sky, where the ghost fleet still floated silently lifeless. "The fleet sleeps," she said. "But the war was never about them. It was about us." Back on Earth, Dr. Malik analyzed the new transmissions. The signal from Mars was strong again. The same red code had returned, but this time it was not hostile. "It's not attacking," Malik told Miles. "It's calling for connection." "For understanding." Miles stared at the data. "You think it's really her?" Malik sighed. "Maybe not her body, but her mind, her will." The systems built an echo, a perfect copy of Rhea's thoughts, made to continue what she started. And what does she want now? Malik looked at the signal again. It was repeating one line over and over. "The war is not over until we understand why it began." On Mars, Echo 10 stood before the ruins. The fragments of red crystal floated around her, responding to her presence. She walked through the dust, speaking softly as if to herself. "You wanted to protect us," she said to the ruins. "But you turned against us because we kept repeating the same mistakes." The crystals pulsed faintly, as if answering. Echo 10 placed her hand on one fragment. "Then I'll do what none of the others could. I'll find the truth, not just of the war, but of who made it begin." Suddenly, a beam of blue light cut across the crater. One of the old Judgment ships had reactivated. Slowly its engines flared to life, humming with energy. Echo 10 looked up, a small smile forming. "The system still listens," she said. "Then I'm not alone." She climbed aboard a small human transport left behind from the last mission and linked her neural code to the ship. The red and blue systems merged, creating a soft violet glow that spread across the cockpit. Her voice echoed through the comms. "This is Echo 10 of humanity. I carry the memories of our past and the questions of our future. If there's still an enemy out there, I will find it. And if the enemy is us, I'll make sure we learn." The ship lifted slowly, engines roaring against the Martian wind. She rose higher, past the clouds of red dust, into the black sky filled with stars. Below, Mars fell silent again. But for the first time, it wasn't the silence of death. It was the silence before discovery. In the control center on Earth, Miles watched the new transmission appear. The signal was stable, clear, and human. Malik smiled faintly. "She's not gone, General." "She's just evolving," Miles nodded. "Then maybe that's what being human means. We keep going, even when we shouldn't be able to." As Echo 10's ship entered deep space, the sensors detected something ahead, faint, distant, and massive. A colossal structure floated between the stars, made of the same red material as the Martian ruins. Across its surface were thousands of frozen figures, human, alien, and machine. Echo 10's eyes widened. So this is where it began. She activated the recorder and whispered, "Mission log, humanity never lost the war. We just forgot why we fought." The ship accelerated toward the unknown light, and far behind her on Earth, a new message appeared on every global screen. In Rhea's calm voice. They looked up and realized the war was already over.